Welcome to the Mass Casualty Crimes Team Site Manager webinar. My name is Paige Almendinger and I'm here with Maggie McHale, and together we are the Mass Casualty Crimes Team Coordinators. The learning objectives for this webinar include reviewing the alert process for mass casualty crime incidents. This includes how we coordinate with the other agencies that are activated in the aftermath of a mass casualty crime. And we're going to provide an overview of the roles and responsibilities of the on-scene site manager.
Receiving the deployment request. A deployment request for the Mass Casualty Crimes Response Team will be sent by the Chief, the Deputy Chief, or the Mass Casualty Crimes Response Team Coordinator through Regroup. Regroup is the notification software our office subscribes to. You will respond to the Regroup message with your availability for immediate activation. Our team does not self-deploy. If you hear of an incident through the news but have not received an alert, wait until you are notified through Regroup. You can prepare to deploy but do not respond to the incident scene without activation. Please follow the Preparing to Deploy checklist located in SharePoint.
Once the staff have responded with their availability for deployment, the Chief, Deputy Chief, or Coordinator will assign the roles of certain deploying staff as dog handlers, team leads, and site managers. The staff chosen for these positions will have received specific training on those roles and will be familiar with the responsibilities that are expected of them. If you are designated a site manager, here are the following questions that you should ask from the Chief, Deputy Chief, or Coordinator. What is known at this point about the number of victims and witnesses? Where is the Family Resource Center? And what other agencies have also been activated? And how can we get to the center? And will there be a perimeter set up that we will need to be let through?
Incident types. Our team will respond in two different capacities depending on which agency activates us. If the City and County of San Francisco activates our team, we will likely take the job of site manager at a Family Resource Center or a Family Assistance Center. When we respond to institutions with their own developed mass crime response plans, for example, the San Francisco International Airport, the Unified School District, other Bay Area counties, or a university, the team will act as a supporting agency. As a supporting agency, we will not have the site manager role and will only be deploying a team lead for our agency. The roles of the site lead and team lead differ in that site managers focus on coordination of all agencies responding on scene to an incident, and team leads act as coordinators for our mass casualty crime response team only.
Partners on scene. When we respond, we'll meet with other local agencies who are able to offer victims, witnesses, and their loved ones support and resources. The following agencies are likely to respond in San Francisco to a mass casualty crime incident. The Human Services Agency. HSA is the lead agency for Emergency Support Function 6, Mass Care, Housing, and Human Services. They will support the mass casualty crime incident response in the following ways. They will secure and set up the location for the Family Resource and Family Assistance Centers, and they'll provide staff to support assisting victims on scene. The Salvation Army. The Salvation Army response is largely volunteer-based. Some of the services that they can provide include mass feeding, donation management, and they offer disaster victims and first responders emotional support and spiritual comfort.
The American Red Cross. Red Cross is largely volunteer-based. The Red Cross can provide a multitude of services depending on available resources and incident type. Some services include providing disaster mental health for victims, witnesses, and their families, providing reunification assistance using the Safe and Well network for disaster survivors, and providing cots and emergency supplies to displaced or waiting persons. The Department of Public Health's Crisis Response Team and Behavioral Health Unit respond to critical incidents in San Francisco. Some services they can provide include disaster mental health services, crisis mental health services, and emergency funds. For each response, the roles and responsibilities of agencies may look different. That is why it is a critical aspect of effective disaster response to incorporate a site manager into any Family Resource Center or Family Assistance Center plan.
Communication. As the site manager, you're responsible for communicating information to the Emergency Operations Center through the ESF6 Mass Care Table. You also communicate information from the EOC back down to each of the agency team leads on scene. This position acts as a funnel to ensure that information is clearly and timely communicated from on-scene responders to the EOC back to on-scene responders. Escalating issues. An especially important function of the communication chain is to escalate issues to the EOC. If the resources on scene are not meeting the needs of the victims, witnesses, or loved ones, it's a site manager's responsibility to escalate these unmet needs to the EOC to request additional resources. Additionally, if there are any gaps in services that have been noted by the various agencies responding, the site manager will communicate those gaps to the EOC table. The representatives in the EOC are coordinating at a separate location to prepare and organize the resources that will be available to the victims, witnesses, and their loved ones in the immediate, short-term, and long-term aftermath of the incident. As the site manager, you are receiving these directives and information and relaying it to the agency leads. The goal is to keep the leads of each agency uniformly updated on the deployment periods, any transition from an FRC to an FAC, the resources that have been allocated, and any other important coordinating information.
Coordination. While acting as a site manager, it is your responsibility to conduct multiple briefings for agency leads that cover the different responsibilities each agency has committed to. This will create cohesion amongst the responding partners and stop any duplication of resources. Briefings will also be conducted with responding staff from each agency. These briefings will cover the housekeeping items at the beginning of deployment shifts. This could include where the restrooms are located, what agencies are present, and where specific resources may be located. Debriefings. Debriefings are important to ensuring the mental health of staff who are responding. As a site manager, you will conduct debriefings at the end of the day or the deployment period. Debriefings will be an open space for responders to share their feelings about the situation and their updates. Please see the Site Manager's Guide to Debriefings located in SharePoint for tips on how to run these. Team collaborations. As a site manager, your priority is agency coordination on scene. If you see a duplication of resources or a gap in services, it is your responsibility to bring this to the attention of agency leads. Our team has armbands that say Victim Advocate, Team Lead, and Site Manager. Pass out the Team Lead armbands to each responding agency for easy identification of agency leads at any incident.